All right, so why exactly should you trust CRCC Asia? Well, we've been the leading provider of international internships for nearly 20 years now. And our programs are amazing programs that are customized or tailored to what you want to do, are running in 7 different cities across the world. And we actually offer 18 different career fields. So whatever you're looking for, we actually have something for you in any destination that you choose from. That way you're able to get a head start on work experience, enhance your resume and CV, stand out among others, make more global connections, and so much more in any of the destinations we provide, all 7 of them. All right, so we also work with thousands of host companies, and we've already sent our students to so many different places, all 1,100 of them. Our process is very simple. You just have to apply. You'll be directed to an admissions advisor who will help you conduct a call and will go through all your preferences, listen to what you want to do, and make sure we craft the perfect program for you. We'll arrange all the interviews for you. Everything is very seamless. And before you know it, you'll be starting your global internship in your selected destination. We also partner with all of these amazing, prestigious universities all across the world, so you can definitely trust us with quality educational internships. All right, so now I'm going to pass the mic over to Bing, who will proceed with the rest of the session.
Okay, thank you so much, Jenny, for the introduction about CC Asia. Hello, everyone. My name is Lin Hua, Mission Advisor from CC Asia today. And for in this section, I will proudly to introduce you to our new location that we just opening recently in East Asia, which is Bangkok and Shanghai. As you know, both cities have a long and rich history, distinct culture, and amazing cuisine that everyone needs to try at least once in their lifetime. And so also, what are the benefits of applying for internship in this amazing city? Of course, first of all, you're going to have the top tiers host company, like the 2 companies that present to you today. And secondly, you're going to have an international career path. And third, you're going to have a first-hand insight from highest ranking professional. And lastly, you're going to global experience a lifetime opportunities to work and live in those 2 amazing cities in East Asia. Perfect. And without further ado, from the sunny Bangkok, I would like to introduce to you MATDOT Art Center. And represent to you today is Mr. Gianluca Vernizzi from MATDOT Art Center. And Mr. Vernizzi, please take the stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yanin and Bean for CRC Asia for inviting me and having him here on board. Very delighted to be part of this webinar. As a member of MATDOT Board Committee, I'm glad to introduce the committee as first, starting from the founder, who is Tavachai Songkang, famous national artist and curator. We have a vice president who's a young entrepreneur with a strong passion for art, which is Mr. Suri Day. A prominent Indian artist who is Yogan Chaudhary. Kun Panya is also a very famous national Thai artist. And then we have Marco Mango, who's an Italian curator and the marketing director of a very well-known company in the fashion dyeing industry. And then last me, I'll make the story very short. I have 40 years of business background in the paint industry. And since 2018, I decided to devote my full time to my real vocation, which is art. So I think bridging the 2 experiences might be maybe somehow inspirational. Okay, let's take a look at MATDOT as a company and a little bit of background. The history goes back when Mr. Tavachai really founded through Licensee Fine Art Magazine Thailand in 2003 to the present. And then in 2019, 2018, 19, he brainchild MATDOT as creating a dynamic hub in order to call multidisciplinary people in the art scene and in the intellectual productions for creative, meaningful outcome. So that's how it started. Then, excuse me, that goes back to what the vision and mission of MATDOT is about, which is really to act as a catalyst to attract um, artists or intellectual from all over the world in order to bridge with the local culture. So it's really a dynamic environment which enhance not only local art but international art together. Okay. Okay. Then talking about, we can move to the next slide. What are the key programs and services of MATDOT, which is a typical art environment in Thailand? So there are five major key areas. One is the residency program for the artists, so who come here, spend a month, 2 or 3, whatever they call on, and work, and then eventually exhibit at MATDOT. So then the second core is the exhibition. So two environments, large environments where artists can, in residency or not in residency, can exhibit their art. Then there is another part which is very interesting, which is the workshop. The workshop area is also a nice opportunity to organize workshop on art or art related items and topics. Then we have the publishing with Fine Art Magazine. Then we have the art shop where curated artifacts can be exhibited for sale. Now, talking about the spaces of MATDOT, we have the cafe, which is a sort of kind of a 18th century spirit where people gather, talk about ideas, change opinions in a very friendly way, enjoy a coffee, socialize on what's on. And then after we have the, as I said, the art shop, which is a very cute little area where people can walk in and look at things and eventually purchase whatever they feel attractive and interesting for them. And then we have the gallery space, which is divided in two sections. The MATDOT Gallery, which is the larger space facing the street, along one street, and then the Blacklist, which is a smaller space, but very unique for art exhibition as well. Now, there's an accommodation part, which features 4 suites. So where artists can sleep, live, study, rest, and including all the facilities and amenities that they would desire. There's also a very small lounge for them to receive people and have a personal chat. So when artists come here, the real flavor should be that they feel like in a second home and express their creativity at best. Now, together with the accommodation, they have their own specific, so part of the package is that they get their own specific art studio. So they have really like a home environment where they have their relaxing lounging area, and plus the art studio where they can create at any hour of the day. Then we have a lab which does art conservation, so recovers artworks which were damaged or compromised, whether by the weather or by the aging. So our specialists, they're expert who can recover the original beauty using whatever organic material that is necessary to do that. And we have an office facility with the staff. Beautiful rooftop, which is used for, primarily night event or night party, and you have a beautiful view over temples. And the areas at MATDOT are also dedicated to community events. Now, what you see in the picture is actually a very recent event we did for the Children's Right Day in November, where we hosted Bimbi Italian organization, and we did a workshop by having the child painting on a 3 meters canvas, expressing their creativity. Amazingly enough, they were really, really good, very committed, and very collectively proactive among them. So it was great. And then there are more social things, like more for adult kind of young people, generation of any age. And that takes also to the exhibition moments with international and national artists that have a chance to exhibit here after applying for their work and their concept to be shown on the Thai art scene. Now, regarding our future expansion of both the vision and mission, we want more and more to create networking and opportunity to really engage the global art scene into Bangkok as a landmark to work collectively together and exchange skills, idea, and new philosophies. That's a very important thing. Now, part of the future expansion is actually what we initiated thanks to you, because CRCC Asia approached us. We had a beautiful meeting with your colleagues some time ago. It's collaborate and partner with the organization, institute, educational organization as well worldwide in order to foster proactive collaboration. Part of that is also welcoming internship programs whenever it's possible, where students have a chance to work in a creative environment and also take the fun and accountability, if you wish, of hands-on projects. So the criteria we observe for the internship are very simple. So basically, I think the key critical ingredient is really a proactive mindset, an eagerness and the self-motivation to do an experience abroad. That's very crucial. The curiosity of embracing other culture. Then definitely there are other things like digital literacy, which nowadays the young generation are master for whatever it can be a tool to use while they're staying here. Strong communication organization skill can help too in order to work on project-driven goals. I would say, a flexibility to adapt or embrace local culture is always key wherever you go. And so these basically are the 5 main criteria to an internship application at MATDOT. Well, I thank you very much. I think the best next step based on your schedule would be really, to ask questions or interact so anybody of your audience can ask whatever they feel appropriate. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Vernizzi, for very informative, insightful, and very interesting fact about MATDOT Art Center. And for me, as mission advisor, I actually can't wait to join MATDOT Art Center as well. So I hope everyone can, interested in Bangkok, please apply and join MATDOT. And for the next part of our section today, I would like to introduce to you a little bit farther away, north of Thailand would be China, Shanghai, and coming to you will be Anomaly, Mr. Eric Lee. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for taking your time to join us today. And here the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hi everyone. It's been an honor to have opportunity to participate in this meeting, and also I'm really inspired by what the MATDOT team is doing. So I think that it is great opportunity for me as well to meet every one of you. Here I will take 10 minutes to explain a little bit about what we are doing, and then what's so different about us. As the name explained, the anomaly is anomaly. So that is something after the sharing that you would understand better of what anomaly is. Being so that you will flip the chart for me, right? So okay. So yeah, we can go through the next chart, which is yep, I think that we can move to next chart.
Mr. Eric, I think you can share your screen.
All right, okay. So I can share my screen then.
Yeah, definitely. Wonderful, thank you.
All right, so we just want to talk about explain the anomaly in 5 pages. And then the first one is that we always been asked when we set up the company in 2003, lots of people is asking us what is anomaly, and then our answer is always anomaly is an anomaly. The company actually is that we are the global company, and then our company start in 2004 in New York, and then all of our founders' background are coming from advertising industry. Most of us, one of the founder actually is the category head of Nike. Otherwise, that most of other people is coming from the advertising background. But the reason that we set up Anomaly is not to create another advertising agency. And then that is something that we constantly remind ourselves, like we are not here to have another advertising agency. And then the reason that we exist in the first place is because we see that whilst we find that the technology is improving, and then the way of people consume content is changing and then getting more fragmented. So the good old days about like watching a TV programming, or like you look at all the outdoor advertising, and that pretty much that is it, like a print advertising, TV advertising, outdoor advertising. But then it's given that the fragmentation of those content delivery methods, that people have a different way to consume content, is getting harder and harder to just reach people with one channel. And then what happened is that there's a lot of specialized company focus on different part of the touch point in marketing and communication. And then you've been quite successful for those company. But after a while, marketer will realize that it's so hard to manage the brand in this fragmented world. And then because that there are lots of partners can give them a solution on particular format or access or exposure, but just no one company can give them a holistic point of view about what is the best solution, what is the best marketing solution for them. So that's why that Anomaly is we want to set up and then present ourselves in a very different way. We are not here to do digital campaign, TV commercial, social campaign, AI, or whatever things you call it nowadays. But we are thinking about how can we use all of this to formulate a holistic solution for our client partners. So that is a fundamental of what Anomaly is about. And that's why that we believe that our mission, that we want to be the change agent of the marketing industry, that we want to, through our success, that we change the way that people do business in the marketing consultant area. So that's one thing, that in order to develop a solution, a holistic solution, there's one thing that we bear in mind is that we obsess about like what is the business challenge from our client partner, because that should be the starting point of everything. So nobody have a TV commercial problem, nobody have a digital campaign problem, everyone have their business problem. So we exist to use all these tools to solve the business problem. That's why that we refuse to call ourselves ad agency, because advertising is just one of the means or one of the tools to help us to deliver the result or deliver the solution. Our creativity is not about creating a piece of content, but our creativity is about how we can vision a holistic solution that make use of all these marketing elements to help our client to solve their business challenge. So that is a fundamental of a proposition, and that is one reason why that we have a lot of all kind of output. We were going to touch on it later on. And then sometimes people will misunderstand us. Some people thought that we are the social agency. Some people think that we are like an advertising agent. And some people think that we are event agency, or even like we are the decoration company. But we are not in any of this specific area, but instead that we are the company that help our client to solve the business challenge through creative business solution. And then because of this approach, that we can help our client partner to manage the full brand lifecycle, from really unlocking the future potential to brand imagination or reimagination, positioning, portfolio planning, brand world creation, and eventually IMC integrated marketing campaign delivery, that we can manage that as well. And then because of that approach that we start in New York 2004, and then we already got nominated as one of the most innovative company in US by Fast Magazine. So that is a really good recognition to us, because it's not about advertising, it's not about marketing, it's about how to be more innovative. And also because of this, the kind of an end delivery that cover everything. So here, just name a few things, right? For example, we work with Mini Cooper, Mini car brand. I work with them for 7 years. And then we help them to create a platform called Urban Matters. We talk about how design can brighten urban life. This is there's a reason why the Mini exists like 64, 65 years ago. And then also this is a reason why we believe we want to promote how to use design to brighten urban life in every people's everyday life. This is a platform that allows us to engage with people before they even want to buy a car. Because we understand that when people start to think about buying a car, they're getting very rational. And then love the Mini and then purchase a Mini is a very emotional decision. So that we want to engage with people while they are not that rational. And then we want to build the brand of when they get into the buying car mood, that they will still believe in us and then still love us. It's been very successful that because of the angle of the platform, the nature of the platform, that we partner with a property developer to give us a space for free to do the exhibition, to talk about how design can brighten urban life in different facets on top of how our car can benefit urban life. And the other things is we work with Disney Resort, Shanghai Disney Resort, to create a new brand campaign for them last year. And then for Disney Resort, the brand campaign will last for 3 to 5 years. And then the reason that and then the thinking that we have is that it's not just about a commercial, because for them that is a very access-driven mindset in the very beginning. So, okay, I need a commercial, I need some visual that we can use throughout the 5 years in different touch points and with their travel partner. When we talk about now that it's a world of social, how we can win in social. And then that is something that we find that actually there is a lot of great Disney related content, because they're experiential product, right? So their product is experience, that people go to their park experience, and people love the experience, and people will share the experience. But the thing is that this kind of sharing, social media is always get to the bottom of the sea of social content. What's on the surface of the social content is very practical, pragmatic content, like what is the best day to go to Disney Resort, and what is the best way to get a cheaper Disney Resort, or what is the best way to cut the queue. Like that is a kind of very pragmatic, like rational content. But there is a lot of a great emotional content, but it is just not bubble up in the social media. So what we do actually, that we create a hashtag that is a visual and magical day as a hashtag to connect with all those great content created by the consumer themselves. And then we actually make use of all those great content to create that campaign that people can see it and then feel rewarded and excited. So next time that when people travel to Shanghai Disney Resort, they will also eager to create content and share with everybody with this hashtag. And then because of the campaign that we generate, I think right now is already 1.3 or 1.4 billion readership of all these content under this hashtag. And because of this kind of a traffic, that it beat the algorithm. So now, right now, if you go to the social media in China, that this kind of emotional content will bubble up to the top instead of just only those practical content. So that what's behind that is not about the creative or creating the content, but it's the whole business logic about why we need to do this in this social media, because that has a long-term effect for the brand, that whatever people want to understand more about Shanghai Disney Resort, they will see more emotional content benefit to the Shanghai Disney Resort instead of those practical content. We also work with a Lululemon in China as well to help them reimagine the way that they engage with those ambassadors. And we also help them to celebrate their 10-year anniversary in China. And then the way we celebrate is not celebrate the brand, but we celebrate all the people, our fans, our ambassadors, our educators together throughout this past 10 years. Because the brand is built on community, that we believe in the community. And then that is something that is very deeply rooted in our approach when we develop an overall solution, that we believe that it's not just about the product, about the brand, but also it's about what is the emerging culture that you're riding on, because that is the best way to build a brand. The product innovation, service innovation have some limitation, but cultural innovation have no limitation. There is any great brand, including Nike, Starbucks, or even Lululemon, that all of these being successful because they built on an emerging culture and communities. That's why that we are very into this part as a big key part of our solution. We work with Shanghai Art Center, for example, to host a festival of community to celebrate all kinds of community. And we have our own content platform called the Unreasonable. And then through that content platform that we celebrate different unreasonable people in China and beyond China. So that is a way that we build our own community as well. So in our office, we have a gallery space that we host exhibition every 3 months. And then that is how we connect with our own community in our vicinity and also in the creative community in China and Asia Pacific. And then the final thing is that we are also an entrepreneur at heart. So Mighty Jacks is our company. This company is a Singapore company that when we first set up, these only have 3 people. And then we become their partner in their year 2 because we really like the business idea of it. And then we partner with them. We help them to expand in China and Asia. Right now, the Mighty Jack is the company net worth is already $200 million US. And then we got funding from all over Asia. So that Mighty Jacks, the business model is that we work with urban artists around the world to turn their artwork into collectible art toy. So that some of the artists is quite a big name, like a Banksy team, or like Jason Freeney, that we work with them. So we are already one of the best collectible art toy company in the world, that we are 2 times a brand of the year award from Designer Toy Awards. And we also develop a blind box series, and then again that it becomes a very popular among the an average consumer. So we work with DC, for example, or Toei on One Piece, for example. We work with those IP owner and then invite artists to have a co-creation. So for example, Jason Freeney with the One Piece, we have a dissected One Piece, so that you see that the One Piece character has been dissected. So that is something that we do so that it's kind of a different from the other people using the IP. And also that we have a content creation platform called Unreasonable. We talk about that. Right now that we are partnering with ITE as a video platform in China. We co-produce a documentary program now. That when we first started in 8 years ago, it's only the video program is 3 to 5 minutes only. But now that it become a proper documentary program that featuring on the ITE platform. We also have a official content production or producing company called ACE in LA. So that is a unit to produce a Hollywood grade content for those US linear TV and also live stream TV. So this is something that we're doing something for ourselves instead for our client. And then the reason of doing this is not just want to create some additional revenue stream, but most important is that we also want to be the owner of our own business so that we understand what is a business challenge means to our client. once you're in that position, you understand that the advertising sometimes is just a tiny part of the whole marketing mix. There's a lot of other things that you need to worry about. When we get into the shoes of a business owner, that we understand better what is a business challenge, and then it helps us to deliver better our solution to our client partners. And then that's how we make sure that we walk the talk and then deliver what we promise and we set out to do. So this is a quick introduction of who we are. And then in terms of internship, of course, that we it's one thing is that when we set up Anomaly, we have the objective to bring in people from as diverse background as possible. So that is something that we believe that all of us is smarter than any one of us. So that we want people from a different background can give us a different idea in the room. So that as an internship, I think that is a great opportunity for us to get a different point of view from different generations, right? So that in our company, we are all a very mature and very experienced. But there is great things that our internship or newly hired people that they fresh out from the school or have is in their a young year, that they have a different background, different context growing up, and then they have a different perspective. That is something that we feel like it will be contribute to our development of solution a lot. And of course that on the other hand, that we have a very specific culture in the way that we build our team. We are a small company. We are not those big company, and then one of the way that we believe in is that everyone should have ownership of the problem, of the client problem. So we hate hierarchy, that we have a very flat structure. We want everyone in the team have ownership of the things that they do. And what it means is that we really want people to have a strong ownership, and also we really expect people to have a strong self-initiative, to self-driven. They are not waiting to someone to give them an order to do things, but really when they understand the challenge, that what is the best way to approach the challenge, what is the best way to develop solution. That is something that we want people to have their self-initiative to think about that instead of following order. That is something is particularly difficult to find this kind of person in this part of the world, and hopefully in the whole Asia Pacific that we have opportunity to find more people with this kind of a self-driven attitude, the people to join our team, to play with us, and then have a great experience with us. So that's all for my sharing today, and I'm also happy to take any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Eric Lee, for your great presentation. I think for all of us here, even we are not an advertising marketing major, we still learn a lot about the industry and the mission and the value of the host company. So very appreciate for your presentation. And I think for the next part, I think it's a very exciting part because it's a great opportunity for all of us here to interact, to talk to our host company. And for our panel discussion, I think we would like to break it into the two parts. The first one, we're going to be a few questions that from CCA Asia that we've been seeing students asking so far before the section today. And then we're going to save the second part for live question from our audience for today, all right? Okay, perfect. So for the first question, I think I would like to ask Mr. Vernizzi is that, so I think this question we got asked a lot from students, which is, what does a day-to-day of an intern look like from your company? It can be including any project, any activities that your host company have in mind for our intern when they want to come to MATDOT Art Center. Yeah.
You're on mute.
Yeah, Mr. Vernizzi, I think you're on mute.
Sorry. No, first of all, thank you for asking. Now, we don't have any preclusion to candidates, meaning that not necessarily needs to be an art undergraduate student, but we would welcome a physicist, we will welcome a philosopher, we will welcome anybody that can bath into the art language to work on specific project. Now, the two main areas would be communication and communication design, And the other one would be the art gallery section in helping supervisors to curate and assist artists in residence to take their work into a factual exhibition. Now, that has a lot of components in terms of organization, in terms of creating a concept that both align with the artist's vision and at the same time with the philosophy of the center. So those are the two main areas, but there's no prejudice on the type of educational background of the student. Actually, personally, I would honestly welcome, even a physicist or a philosopher or whoever has a different educational background to join the art scene. I think art is a very powerful language to fuse and collaborate with other disciplines. And that's actually what I did for 40 years in my company. And so yeah, that's the focus.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer and for everyone for the attendance. As you can see that MATDOT Art Center is open for everyone. So please, we have a ton of opportunities there in Bangkok for you. And I think I also want to ask Mr. Vernizzi as well for the next question is that as someone who's been living in Bangkok, Thailand for a while, I would like to ask you that what advice would you give to international interns to help them succeed and thrive in a new environment, in Bangkok, Thailand?
Well, as a lifetime traveler, I always travel the world with my cultural luggage, but not necessarily I ever open it. If you really want to live a local reality and culture, you need to have a very open mind and heart. Now, having said that, regarding Thailand specific, I've been living here 11 years. I did some major mistake, but if I need to give you a hint, I would say that you need to keep in mind at least four key points. Now, first of all, talking about culture, respect and hierarchy here is a big cultural connotation. Now, so respect for authority and the elders is very important, which is something similar to what we had in Italy in the old times. The second point is not being confrontational, and I would say that that's pretty much maybe all over Asia, but here particularly. So like the North American straightforward kind of methodology, which I'm very familiar with because I studied and worked in the US for a big portion of my life, doesn't work. Meaning that you need to avoid conflict, you need to get in a sort of quasi-Buddhist modus operandi, and that would open many doors. So that's another part of the respect things. And the other aspect, which is the third one, which I think is important, focus on the principle of collectivism and not individualism, which is very rooted here in Thailand. So what is more important is to create a collective esprit and team effort rather than promoting an individual egotistic kind of diva performance or mental attitude. Number four, which I think is optional, and I was not a good practitioner, is language. Now, if you can learn a little bit of Thai, or if you can learn Thai, I think that would be a major benefit, even in your daily life, not necessarily at work, where a lot of people speak and they're fluent in English. But if you can really master at least a basic Thai, I think that's a fascinating knowledge to live the daily life experience, whether you go to a market, to a temple, or you interact with a person on the street or in a social context. So these are the four key principles. There could be many more, but that's the core one.
Okay, thank you so much for very informative answer. And for everyone who want to go to Bangkok, please take your note carefully for Mr. Vernizzi answers.
You're
And yes,
welcome anytime.
thank you very much. And so for the next a few questions, I would like to ask Mr. Eric Lee from Anomaly. And the first question for Mr. Lee, I would like to ask that, what you're looking for in an intern. It can be any like technical skill and soft skill. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will echo with MATDOT team's talk about like it's not that important for us to look at what degree that people have at what is the education background, because like that we believe that in our industry that is not that important. Like I said, I think that is more about the character of the person. The mindset of the person is that what we would like measure against, like whether that is like a self-driven. I always think about like especially for intern, they work like a spy. So that a spy is that nobody tell you what to do, but you just sneak around and then get as much as possible to yourself, right? So then that is the best way to learn as an intern in a company, at least in our company. So that we don't really require specific study or learning background. And then the other things that I think that is important in our culture is what we call the high caliber, low ego. Because that we are the company, we encourage people to debate, to challenge each other, to provoke each other. And then because that is the only way to get to the bottom of the problem and then develop a really brilliant solution. We of course we need to respect each other, but we don't want to like people respect each other to the thing to the stage that they are not sharing what they really believe in and what is their point of view.
Yeah.
But in order to do this, that you have to have a low ego. Like you debate is not because you want to defend your own idea, because like you bring out the objective solution or objective reason that why that idea you talk about is good, right? So that you have to have this capability,
Right.
but also like a low ego to forget about like this is your idea, but it could be someone else's idea. But like, what is good about this? What is a gap between this? So I think that those are more important to us. Those are kind of a character we're looking for.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Lee, for a very helpful answer. I think your answer has encouraged a lot of student intern who are not like advertising, marketing, or media major to apply for this sector specifically. And I think the next question I also want to ask you is that as Anomaly have a lot of offices like worldwide, so you have a lot of like international colleagues and co-worker coming to Shanghai. So the next question I would like to ask you is, what are the obstacles that your international colleague will be facing while working in Shanghai can be a great learning lesson for our intern? Yeah.
Well, frankly speaking, something quite obvious. One is the language, of course, like so that it is a very China itself is a very big market, so that we in here that we're happy with your own language to do like a marketing things, right? So that people that don't speak the local language will encounter lots of difficulty for sure. So that is something that we need to prepare for that challenge, and then of course that it will be much better if you understand the local language, so that it's kind of unlock lots of opportunity to learn and they understand the local culture. And then the other thing is, of course, that the collectivism, right? So that, but I guess if people from Asia, I think that is less of an issue compared to people from Western market. So I just feel like you apply to like all the situation when one move to another country, another culture, and then start living there. I think that the most important thing is how to be more embracive. We love to benchmark, right? So that when we go to a place, you always benchmark. Okay, in my country or in my place is something like this, but here is something like this.
Yeah.
So that is, but like frankly speaking, if you're in a new environment, that is more important to absorb and then less important to benchmark, like so that you just okay, understand what it is, and then after you understand, you can decide that what you take or what you want to not take, but they want to use the other way to deal with. So that is something. But I think that overall speaking, that is quite a good. Of course, that one very practical challenge are how to pay for everyday things, right? Because we are 99% like a mobile money driven, like so we don't
Right.
use the paper money anymore. So that may be some challenge for some people in less mobile money friendly environment.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Lee, for very like insightful information about, the location itself. And yeah, so I think for the next, we do have a time limit, unfortunately. So I think for all the intern, like you can, for all the student attendees, please feel free to type your question in the chat box, so we can actually ask the our host company here. Unfortunately, during time limit, so we can ask a few questions only. So yeah, now is your time to asking a question. And I can read it out loud in your chat box from the chat box as well.
Hey, does anyone have any questions they would like to ask? This is your time to ask them live. Anything else we can take offline as well and try to get back to you through email. Any questions? Internships, Shanghai, Bangkok, anything at all? This is your
I just
time to
want to
ask.
ask,
Yeah,
sorry, is it okay if I ask
yeah.
out loud? With the internships being international, do you guys know like I mean for at least for the interns from America with all like the political stuff going on with other countries and like the foreign affairs, how would that affect interns if like major changes were to happen that affected international things with other countries and companies?
All right, sure, Gulnaz. So nice to meet you again, by the way. So yeah, of course, as we've mentioned earlier, in previous calls as well, or we can also mention it here, we have representatives, local staff in all of our destinations, no matter which one you choose, and they are available to assist you 24/7, whether it be for just typical advice or emergencies, or in the case of conflicts, as you have mentioned. There's local embassies, local consulates in all of our destinations as well that you can refer to. Nonetheless, if there's any concerns like such that you've mentioned, I'm certain that our local staff are able to assist you immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good to know. Thank you for keeping us safe.
No, great. That's what we're here for.
Right. Yeah. And I think we have time for one more question before our next session. So please feel free to mention.
I think we have one in the chat. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I think we have one in the chat as well.
all right. Where do we? Will not knowing the local language make my job significantly more difficult? What specific challenges may I face? Well, I think our guest speakers covered a bit of that today, right? Of course, learning the local language will be beneficial for you on the day-to-day basis. We always encourage you to learn basic language, but more importantly, just embrace the culture of the locals in your destination. It's not mandatory to learn the local language, and we work with international organizations, as you have seen in this call today. The main language used will be English, so it will not be an obstacle. Your supervisor will definitely be an English speaking supervisor, so you don't have to worry in that sense either. This is more just advice on how to settle into your destination easier, how to connect with locals easier, and have a more enjoyable time if you decide to learn the basic language, basically. I hope that helped answer. Do you think we could do one quick one for Gabriel here?
Yeah, sure. Let me.
Uh, Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, okay, so I'm just gonna ask, what are the types of programs, for the internships?
Oh, we have so many different programs.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier in the session as well, we offer 7 different destinations and 18 different career fields in all of them. So we're certain that we have something for everyone. We're happy to share you like the link so that you can learn more about them after this call as well, so you can get a more in-depth detail on them. We'll be sure to reach out to you.
Okay,
Right.
thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for all of your questions today. I just wanted to remind everyone as well that although our call today with our guest speakers were focused on Shanghai and Bangkok, every insight that they've shared can actually be applicable to every program destination of ours, whether it be the professional insight, whether it be the cultural insights they've shared, they are always transferable. And now that we're a bit low on time, I wanted to give enough time for you guys to win some prizes. So please stay tuned for this part of the activities and giveaways. All right, so here are the quick instructions. There will be 3 questions in this part. There will be grand prizes of $100 US, $200, and $300. It's very simple. The first student to answer the questions correctly and quickest, we will direct message you and ask for your email so that we can send the discount to you. All right, so let's get started. Are you guys ready? And again, you can just type in the chat box for the answers. How many cities does CRCC Asia currently host? How many cities do we have programs running in? Cities, guys, cities. Here we go. 18 is the amount of career fields that we offer, which is a lot. I know it may be a bit confusing, but how many cities do our programs run in? Oh, I think we have someone, Carter.
Yeah, Carter.
Yeah,
Yes,
all right.
awesome. Carter, can you please leave your email so we can connect you like right after this for your prize, all right?
Congrats, Carter. $100 goes straight to you for the discount of our program. All right. So the next one is, what is one fact you have learned about Bangkok or Shanghai during this session? This one's for anyone to grab. Any fact that you've learned about Bangkok or
Yeah.
Shanghai. Quickest answer, guys. Let's go. The idea of collaboration. All right. Abimbola, I believe. All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Could you also share your email, Abimbola?
Yeah.
We'll provide you with, oh, these are great answers, guys. This is very true. The idea of collaboration, people aren't confrontational, be respectful, respect your elders, definitely, yeah. Especially in Asia, there's a bit of a, people can be more reserved.
Right.
Everyone can operate. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. And final question. Out of all the 18 sectors that are available at CRCC Asia, which sectors do our guest speakers cover today? What sectors do they offer in their companies? What sectors, what career fields do they offer at MATDOT Art Center or Anomaly? Art and Advertising Communications, who said that? Kameli? I hope I said that right.
Yes, Kamali got it right. Yeah,
All right, Kameli, you just got a $300 discount. That's
perfect. Yeah,
all
thank you.
right. That concludes our activity. Everyone, thank you so much for sparing time to take part. I hope that you all gained a lot of new insight, whether it be on CRCC Asia, on MATDOT or Anomaly, or just global internships, traveling, cultural insights in general. We are here to provide you more assistance if you ever need them. So we would love to talk to you. If you submit your application and schedule an advising call, our admissions advisors will be here to conduct calls with you, go through every questions that you have, and of course, find the perfect internship for you. If you have further questions, please do not hesitate to email us. We'll be sure to reach back to you. I'm leaving the email here. And since we're all on this call today, I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek. If you refer your friend and they end up enrolling in the program along with you, you'll both be eligible to a $200 discount on top of any other discounts that you're already eligible for. So a really great prize that you guys will all get for today. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah. And thank you so much for our host company, Mr. Lee and Mr. Vernizzi. Very insightful. And yeah, thank you so much for your time and participating in our webinar today.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and Yanin being great. And you're a great organization. I had a chance to know many of you. And thanks for your audience. And best regards to Mr. Lynch in Shanghai. Look forward to meeting him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Have a great one.